But again, Dad, 2 words, tempo and movement. We were quick.
Yeah.
And every single time we've played teams this year, Wrexham in the second half, various other games where we've won, we've shifted the ball quickly. The players have been moving constantly. So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. And what a difference it makes leaving St Andrews after a fantastic 4-0 win. And it could have been much more. On a different day, that could have been 6 or possibly 7. I think, unless my eyes deceive me, we scored from 3 set pieces. But I'm going to keep this one short and sweet for the intro because we've got a lot to discuss. So, Dad, 4-0 home victory. What a difference it makes leaving St Andrews. Huge, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's exactly what we wanted, really. I mean, we've had games like I remember doing the Bristol City post-match podcast and feeling disappointed, frustrated. Yeah, that's a good word to use because we had loads of possession of the ball in that game, but did nothing with it. And this game was the polar opposite. We were on the front foot. We were, aggressive, and we were winning the ball back and completely dominant. What I was interested to see, because obviously we literally this is just straight after the match, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And when you were driving home, I was looking at the stats, and we only have 43% possession, and it shows you that our almost need to have like loads and loads of possession. Like Bristol City was 72% with not a single shot on target, showing us that if we give the team the ball a bit more, we can exploit those gaps and get the ball back off them. 43% possession with 4 goals and 7 shots on target. In my opinion, that was our best performance of the season. Although I would say it's also Portsmouth were probably this season the worst team I've seen this season at St Andrews. And
also, Portsmouth fans, if you tune in for the first time, we are genuinely a very fair and objective podcast. But that was poor, wasn't it, from Portsmouth? But Dad, I want to focus on Blues here because I thought we were absolutely exceptional. I think we've set the standard now. I want to see that moving forward in every single game. And I think as a fan base, we can agree at the minute there's a discrepancy between Blues at St Andrews and Blues on the road. If we can bring that style of play on the road, we'll win loads of games. Well, we'll win a lot of games, put it that way. We'll win a lot more games than what we're winning now on the road. If we can bring that intensity, that tempo, that movement. And as you said, Dad, this whole theory around possession, when you have lower possession, it creates gaps.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 70, 80, 60, even 60, 70, 80% possession to win games. It proves that now that we don't need to be pounding the rock, going side to side. In fact, Dad, I'd say Portsmouth got stuck in that trap of side-to-side passing,
Well, I turned around to you, didn't I, Matt, and said that, I think it was at half-time, I think I said to you, watching Portsmouth play is like watching us at Bristol City last week, pinging the ball around, but not even laying a glove on us, So basically, we were happy. Like, I'm sure that it was almost like we could have been Bristol City fans sitting in the home end last season in their ground watching this because it was almost like watching us. They had the ball and they played it around the back and side to side, but never really had any, I would say, significant chances. Yeah. And that was exactly what we did last week, and it just shows you that we can do it. This game, like you said, I think you said it would maybe set the benchmark for us, and I think we have to use this game now as look, this is what we can do in this league.
What's crazy, Dad, is we had more attempts on goal in the first 42 seconds than we did in the full 90 minutes against Bristol City. How mad is that?
What a mad start it was.
42 seconds, obviously their goalkeeper mishits it, it goes to Patrick Roberts, he plays in Dukes, and sadly he doesn't make the keeper work enough for it, but 42 seconds in, we had more chances in that game than we did against the whole Bristol City 90 minutes. How crazy is that? And then we didn't really let up, did we? I always use the theory of, foot on the neck, not letting your opponents breathe, real going for the kill. And we really did dominate that game, first part of the game. So I think for the first half an hour, we were absolutely dominant, going at them, creating chances, tempo, speed, quite direct as well. I was really enjoying our football. We'll go through the goal in a minute, Dad. Obviously, we do get a penalty with Jay. It was a penalty through Dukes, which Jay took and missed. I mean, what are your thoughts on that build-up play, the penalty decision and the penalty itself? What were your thoughts on that?
The build-up play was great, and the thing is, you are going to have a chance of making them make a rash tackle and get a penalty if you can get that ball into those positions. It was good build-up play, and obviously and I think Dukes was good in the number 10.
Fantastic.
We've needed a number 10 who can, link up the play and actually sort of make things happen. And, don't get me wrong, that wasn't a perfect game for him, but it was a very good game for him.
I thought it was great, Dad. I think what I like about Dukes is his IQ. I think he comes across like quite an intelligent player.
Yeah.
He links the play up nicely, his little flicks, his little touches, the way he can switch from left to right quite quickly as well. I think he's a great player. And is he arguably that key in the number 10 that we've been missing?
I think he could be.
Because he's technically a number 9 on paper, Dad, but I think he's too good at his passing and reading the game we've got Stansfield and Kyogo who are going to be our number 9. I think he could be our number 10 missing key. I do.
I think we've needed that. I mean, I think what we've done, I think since in our first 12 games before this one, I think Chris Davies has not been sure who to play in number 10. He's been tinkering around. Obviously, Dux has been injured a lot, so he's not been really fit and ready. If we can keep him fit, I think he could be that number 10.
Well, Dad, so far this season, we've had Paik, we've had Tommy Doyle, Keshi Anderson, Kumas, Williamson. Stansfield, I don't know whether Kyogo's been there, but we've had a lot of different change in that number 10. It's almost like Davies has been finding that right key. Yeah. I think Dukes is the right man for the job.
Yeah, I mean, going back to your question, I think the build-up play was brilliant for the it was a penalty because as he went through, you could see the player catch his leg. I watched it back as we came on the video as we came. I was in the car, and he definitely caught his leg, so it was definitely a penalty. But I've got to be honest, it was a poor penalty from Stano. There's no other way of saying it. But having said that, though. The goalkeeper made a save. He guessed the right way, but I think Stano played it too close to him. So normally, if you do it just inside the post, but I think it was too far in
and not enough power.
But we recycled the ball, and it was played across. I think it was Patrick Roberts that played it, or who was it that played it back across? Anyway, we had a couple of players who literally just had to knock it in, and he just bypassed them. So that was a wasted opportunity. But the goal didn't take too long to come. And you mentioned in the intro, Matt, about scoring goals from set pieces. We know that our club has been one of the lowest, and I think suddenly we've gone to one of the highest.
If we could spread the goals out from set pieces a little bit throughout the season, that would be great. We're not asking for all the set pieces to be in one game. If we could spread them out, I am totally saying that in jest.
I did enjoy this goal though because
it was great. Great header.
It was a fantastic. It was a flying header, wasn't it? From Paik. It was Paik, wasn't it? Alex Cochrane got 2 assists in this game. That was one of them. And you can't underestimate his left foot. Alex Cochrane is a really powerful weapon for us if he gets it right, and he did that for this corner. He also did it for Clara's goal, which we'll come on to in a moment. So well done, Alex Cochrane. I think he did very, very well.
Good game.
But that ball as well. I mean, obviously. Their defending was awful, but the fact of the way he angled and dived at that ball with his head.
The power he got on it as
well. It was fantastic. And we was in the other end, and we actually saw the net ripple, and that was fantastic. And that was after the penalty miss. And actually, I thought, Matt, I don't know what you felt as well, but I felt that we should have been out of sight in the first half. And it was only 1-0 up. And this is the thing we were talking about half time, that in the Championship, if you are only a single goal up, whether that's 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever, or 3-2, whatever it is, you've always got the possibility that there could be a penalty or something that, but when you get your breathing space, 2 goals, then 3 goals, it suddenly makes everybody's more relaxed, aren't they?
What I'd say as well, Dad, is, I made a note at half-time on my phone, because when we're at the games, I'm always making notes on my phone at half-time just so I don't forget when we get back. And I almost feel bad making this point now because we've won 4-0. It almost sounds a little bit maybe ungrateful. I don't know how this is going to come across. I certainly don't mean it to. But, after sort of 30 minutes... we did sit back a little bit and allow Portsmouth to have the ball a bit. And they were, fair enough, I think we marshalled them very well. They were going side to side. They didn't really have any chances. I think they had a free kick. That was it from Portsmouth in the first half, really. But what I would say, that I was there at half-time, and fair enough, it's not a problem now because we won 4-0. I was thinking we can't afford at home to sit back after sort of 30 minutes. We need to keep going. And I said to you, didn't I, Dad, the good teams, they play as if it's 0-0, even when they're 3 or 4-0 up. Yeah. And they keep coming and they keep relenting. And I felt like the second part of the first half, sort of 30, 35 minutes, we just allowed them to have the ball a bit too easy for my liking.
I think from 30 to 40 minutes, they literally dominated the ball. But like you say, they didn't really do anything with it, So we were working hard still, but we just couldn't get the ball off them for 10 minutes, between 30 and 40. And
so we're going side to side, though.
And it wasn't hurting us at all.
We marshalled them very well.
They could do that all day long, but we did lose our momentum in that patch.
Half-time came at a good time, didn't it?
Although there was a ball, I mean, towards the end of the first half, I think we were 3-on-3, and Stansfield was running through with the ball, and all he had to do was look to the left, and Dux would have been in on goal. I think he made the wrong decision. And ended up being tackled and fizzled out anyway. But
the point still stands there. We were creating chances. We were going at them. And even that, from a Blues perspective recently, is a massive improvement, isn't it? And I agree. Stano made the wrong decision because I know the exact chance you're talking about. If he slides Dukes in, he's basically one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah.
But he went the other way, didn't he?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But he was actually, everyone we were there, and we were just pointing as if Stano could see us. And we were actually right behind him. But we actually sort of pointing... pick him out, but he didn't. And we should have been out of sight, obviously with the missed penalty and the other chances we had, we should have been 3 up at half-time. Half-time comes along, and then Patrick Roberts is substituted for the start of the second half with Keshi. I think Patrick Roberts looked like he had a bit of a niggle, didn't he?
Yeah.
I hope it's nothing long term or.
He's fantastic, Dad.
Yeah,
it's worth stating. Whenever he gets on the ball, he looks like making something happen, doesn't he?
But they can't get the ball off him.
No,
so
he's great.
this is, you look at him, it's almost like the ball's like stuck to his foot.
Yeah.
And he has this ability to glide as well. He glides, and there's one particular moment in the first half where he cut across and he was almost going parallel with the 18-yard line. Defenders were coming in at him. He was going past them. I thought he was shooting him. I think he did in the end, but it was blocked. But it's almost as if he just got this ability just to glide past players. That's a really good attribute to have, because I think that with him in the team, we are looking more dangerous, particularly on that right.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the injury is a niggle, because I'd like to see him fit for
Millwall.
for the Millwall game, but I don't know. Well, obviously we'll find out what that is.
And me.
But the second half then, Matt, obviously then, we again came out fast again, went back on the front foot. So obviously I think Chris Davies has actually maybe reminded the players of the first half an hour and said, look, get out there, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
And they came out fast.
But again, Dad, 2 words: tempo and movement. We were quick.
Yeah.
And every single time we've played teams this year, Wrexham in the second half, various other games where we've won, we've shifted the ball quickly. The players have been moving constantly. I think Tommy Doyle makes a massive difference, actually. I think his forward passes and his forward thinking makes us so much more progressive going forward. Tommy Doyle, I don't think, can be understated for what he's doing. I think Paik had a good game. They all had a good game. But the point I was making is tempo and movement. Yeah. When it's there, we actually look really dangerous.
They have to be together as well.
Agreed,
so actually, it's all right playing the ball fast, but the reason we can play the ball fast is because of the movement. So therefore, if the movement up front is providing space and options, it allows the tempo to continue and be consistent and fast. Where we've struggled in games is where we've slowed the tempo down, i.e. the players... the tempo slowed down because the movements are stopped, and therefore the players have got the ball, but they've got nowhere to pass it. That wasn't the case in this game. Our players were moving around. There's always an option for our players, and it showed you some of the football we played as well. The one-touch football was absolutely fantastic to watch.
And what I'd say, that I think, again, we are very open podcast. We'll criticise when things need to improve or where we think, and we've spoken quite openly about when we break the press or when we pass it out from the back, we then end up going so slow moving forward that the team can get back in their defensive shape. We didn't allow Portsmouth to do that this game, and that makes a massive difference because you're bending them out of position, right backs further up, centre halves coming to counter in that centre middle. It creates gaps.
Yeah.
It's a massive, massive thing, and today we didn't do that. At the time of recording today, we didn't do that. And we looked fantastic. Really good moves going forward. So good to see.
I think it's nice. It was enjoyable, wasn't it? It was enjoyable to watch, and that was felt in the crowd as well. So because of the way we were playing and the fact that we were winning the game, it gave the crowd the freedom to really get beyond it. And we've always said, and Chris Davies has said this himself, it's the players that give the crowd the impetus to.
I think it's a two-way street, isn't it? We give the players that boost up when they need it, and they give us something to cheer about.
Yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely fantastic.
It was good.
Well, what I would say as well, just one thing before we go we'll quickly go through the second half goals because there's 3 of them. But there's one thing that if you noticed in the first half, Clara was shielding the ball, and he wanted Beadle to come out for it, but Beadle was too slow. But eventually, Beadle got out and he got the ball, and Clara gave him an absolute rollicking to Beadle, saying, I want you faster.
Yeah.
Basically saying, if I'm going to shield the ball, I can't shield him forever. You've got to come out. Basically telling him what he wants. Now, he's the club captain, but Beadle retaliated to him. I don't know, obviously I couldn't hear his exact words, but Beadle was like doing this to him. But if I was Clara, I'd be having a word with him outside of the match and basically just reminding him, look, I'm the captain. I'm telling you that's what I actually want, and you've got... I get players in the heat of the moment will react to each other. I get that, but Clara is our captain, and he's saying that because he's telling Beadle what he wants. What's your thoughts on that?
All I would say is Clara was frustrated because that was the 3rd time in the first half where Beadle didn't command his area and didn't come out and have a presence. And I think Clara was getting fed up with guessing about where he was. I think Clara was saying to him, let me know where you are. Yeah. I don't know where you are. You're not communicating with me.
Oh, and because he's shielding, so the player's pushing him and trying to get the ball off him. He's just standing there.
Give him a shout.
He's basically, and I think all he was making the point was, you've got to read the game better than that. So you've got to. And I don't think you can train this because you don't know the game unfolds and situations unfold. But I think James Beadle, I thought, did okay again. By the way, I don't think he did anything wrong.
No, fine.
But I think he has to be sharper, and I think that's the point that Clara's making to him. Let's just go on to the second half and the goals. What I will say on Clara, though, I thought I know that you'll pick out the players that scored the goals as playing and exceptionally good games, but Clara was absolutely brilliant.
And Neumann, both really solid.
Yeah, fair play to Neumann as well. They were very solid players, and I think Beadle at the back. I think sometimes we played the ball at the back, and they were really closing down and pressing.
Yeah.
But as a back unit, and that allowed us to free up and to move forward.
I think Awata had a great game. Cochrane had a great game. Our defensive line and goalkeeper.
Doyle broke the game up. Broke the ball up.
Duke's had a good game. You know, I think
if I'm with you, Matt, I'd be if I'm Mark Leonard, I would be a bit disappointed I hadn't started.
Yeah, to be fair, Dad, I've got it on my notes. And normally you start the podcast by going through the starting lineup and the changes. We haven't done that today. But one of my points was I had two. One was if I was Mark Leonard, I'd be a little bit thinking, what have I got to do to get a regular start in this team? Because we can't deny it, Blues fans. He's been great in the past couple of games. And I thought Bright Awata at the right back position was a little bit odd. But Awata was fantastic. Clearly Chris Davies knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, actually, on Awata, let's go on to the second goal.
Oh, what a header.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy Doyle, corner. He's made a difference, with the corners, Tommy Doyle. And
Clearly
they practice that. Yeah. But it was the angle because he was actually past the front post. The ball's come across from the corner and somehow he's headed it and angled it over the goalkeeper.
Fantastic.
Into the
I thought it was an own goal at first because of the way it kind of came across the keeper. I was like, how did that even go in?
It's a really
fantastic header.
Really, really clever goal. And, and that was Awata's not the tallest player, but you don't need to be if you're at the front post because they're not expecting him to header the ball from there.
If the delivery's that good, doesn't matter, does it?
That to me, I think that's come off the training ground. So fair play to whoever has organised that. And then just 5 minutes later, and this was brilliant. I mean, Alex Cochrane, this is the free kick.
Yeah.
Their defence was all over the place.
It was bad.
If
you allow Blues to score 3 set pieces, Dad, you've got a serious problem.
This one was the worst for them because, obviously the players were all in the line and Alex Cochrane, he does a outswinger into the box, but they're all lined up. So really, but we could have had like a couple of players that could hit, but so much space for
defending
Clara.
wise, it was poor. But I mean, take nothing away from Clara, Dad. He had to be in the position. He's muscled off his man. He's got in the space. Cracking header.
Yeah,
you've got to be on the end of those crosses, regardless of what defence you're playing against. So fair play to Cochrane for the ball. Clara with that desire and that aggression. I love goals like that. Just a real simple ball across the back. I mean, if you concede those, you're fuming because your defender should be doing better there. But sometimes the ball is that good, the defender's in that good a position. Yeah, great goal. Well, but you're right, Dad. From a Portsmouth perspective, they'll be kicking themselves.
It will. I mean, so that was basically first three goals, all set pieces. So we probably.
Oh, I like that. You accidentally said it, but you said thret pieces.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe that's on the thumbnail. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but that's probably doubled our amount of goals because when we're on the telly, everybody looks at the stats and we're one of the worst teams for set pieces, and I think after that we're probably moving up a little bit. And then the fourth goal as well came from Keshi again. It was a good goal. Has
it gone down as a Keshi goal?
Yeah, no, I think it is. Keshi, I looked at it. I thought, I don't know how, but where we were, I thought it took a deflection.
So did I. That's why I asked.
But I don't think it did.
Oh,
I think he just literally. I don't know if it bounced and went in.
Oh, fair dues.
It went to the top corner of the goal.
I was almost certain from where we were sitting it was a deflection.
No, it's down as a Keshi goal, and it looked like a Keshi goal to me. But again, it was 4-0. But they were already beaten by that point, to be honest. That's really done our goal difference good because we was on -4 before that, and it makes a difference in this league. Look at the league table as well on the way home, and there's about like 8 teams from Charlton in 20th down to about 17th on 17 points. There's about 3 points difference, and that. Goal difference. I know it don't make much difference at this stage, but it means the difference between us being 11th and 13th on the same points as the team on 18.
That could be the difference between 6th and 9th.
Yeah.
Come the end of the season.
Yeah.
Seriously, goals matter.
Yeah.
And this is why, when you score a third of your goals ratio from the start of the season to now in one game, it makes a massive difference.
Well, what I'm saying, Matt, is I don't think it matters at this point in time in as much as, the league table's evolving. But you are right. Obviously, the goal difference could be the difference
make a big difference
at the end of the season.
At this level, Dad, because I feel like at the minute we're a bit of a walking cliche. Like we keep saying scenarios that just describes the championship. Like what you've just said describes the championship down to a T. Yeah. The goal difference matters. The obviously points matter. And in the championship, if you win a few games, suddenly you're possibly in playoff contention. You lose a few games, you're looking down the relegation side. Thinking
it's that tight.
It's that tight in the championship. Yeah. These fine margins are huge, actually. So
I think this game though, Matt, has shown that we are. I think that's arrived us in this division. That has,
I like that.
Yeah,
we've arrived.
We've arrived in that with that performance. It's shown that we can compete at this league. We are going to be competitive if we can maintain that level. And I think we'll be dangerous as well. Kyogo, he got his hat trick, didn't he?
Wow.
His third goal.
His disallowed goal.
Well, third goal, it's not a goal, but third, he must have the best disallowed goals. If there was an award for that, it would be him, because obviously the goal against Ipswich shouldn't have been disallowed. The goal he scored, who was it, against Wrexham away, That should have been allowed. And this one, I think it was offside, but it was a tight offside.
And all three of them have been screamers. Well, screamers. They've been good goals,
They've been good goals. But it's only a matter of time before he gets his goal. But, I felt so sorry for him. I think the crowd really tried to get behind him. I really like that. I think the crowd realised that he's trying. He's due a goal.
He will score soon.
Yeah, even Stano was gutted for him.
Yeah.
Stano was gutted because Stano, and I saw Stano after he'd obviously put his arm around him, and then he was going to the tilt, and then obviously got right behind him again. But
that's nice to see, though, isn't it? It shows a club that's together.
Yeah, and it does feel that way, doesn't it? And what a difference, Matt, about what a win does. The mood's different, isn't it? You feel better. You just feel generally happier.
Yeah. The walk out of St. Andrews, because we come out of the Tilton corner, which connects it to the Cop, and we walk down past the club shop down, and people are talking about the goals. People are singing.
Yeah.
The buzz around is just fantastic. And then there's nothing worse, when you're walking away from Hull, and it's like, oh, we lost. Just genuinely down, and like the mood is rubbish. Whereas when you win and you win in that way, it's just you feel like you've got an extra step in your a step in your walk, haven't you? When you walk to the car, it feels fantastic.
Yeah, I saw
skipping your step as well.
Something else before we forget, Matt, before we finish the podcast as well. Just a hi to Ryan, who came to see us at the beginning of the game. Sits just in our block, but a few rows nearer to the front, and his dad. So it's nice meeting you, Ryan, and and having a chat with you as well. I also saw Michael as well, Chicken Man from Bristol City.
Yeah.
Michael, again, just bumped into him and just told him at Middlesbrough to bring me some chicken. Nice. Because I'll be going to Middlesbrough. So, it's just nice. I obviously met a few other people, spoke to a few other people as well. But overall, Matt, this really is the performance and the result and the amount of goals that really we were desperate for. We were desperate for this. We've got it now. And now what we've got to do now is take that and we've got to move it on to Millwall on Tuesday. And we've got to keep going because this league is about consistency. Because you get a win, you feel good, you go up the table, you get a defeat or a draw, and suddenly you're dropping down the table. And that's just the way the Championship is. And we could keep that momentum going now. We've got to take this performance, and I'm sure Chris Davies will be a lot he liked in this. And he's got to say to the players, this is what I want, this is the level I'm looking for, and you've got to maintain it. Because this is now that we've done that, it's all about consistency for me.
Agreed. And I know we say it like that, all about tempo and movement, isn't it? When we move fast and we move the ball fast with it, we look good. I think that's one of the big keys for me this season, is moving that ball and the movement with it.
It's going to be a nice weekend this weekend now. If it affects everything, it really gets to football, doesn't it? Your own team, and because we love them so much.
I'm guaranteed a good Monday work day. Obviously, let's see what happens on Tuesday. We play Millwall, but I'm guaranteed one good day at work this week now.
Just enjoy the moment, because you never know what's going to happen. But let's be positive and let's take it on to and well done for that. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was absolutely fantastic. But as always, Birmingham City supporters, we would love to hear from you. And Portsmouth supporters, maybe you watched the pre-video, maybe you've tuned in for the first time. Please let us know your thoughts. I'm sure you'll be very, very disappointed with that performance from your team. But if you did like this video specifically, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and check us out on our social media channels. We have an X page, we have an Instagram page, and we're also over on Spotify, so you can listen and watch us over there. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and press that bell icon so you get notified every time we post. And myself and Dad will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.